morning, everyone. This is a recap from the Board of Selectmen meeting last night on July 9th. The first agenda item that we discussed was the surplus item auction results. So we awarded several of the winning bids, and then there are several other items that we either didn't get a high enough bid that met the reserve or didn't get a bid at all. Those items will be re-advertised, and we will announce when they're back up for new bids to be put in. Then we discussed with the fire chief, Chief Hill, increase of fees on ambulance rates. So the last increase was in 2016. Since that time, the cost of a lot of the supplies and medications that they need to keep stocked has gone way up, as well as some other factors that come into play. And so we voted to increase the flat rate ambulance fee based on the 2017 Medicare standard. The next thing that we did was vote a representative from the Board of Selectmen to act as a liaison to the Council on Aging, and we selected John Brown. Then we had a discussion about the land at 42 and 44 Center Street, which is a piece of property that's been subdivided and one piece is being sold as a private lot, but the town has the first right of refusal. So the discussion around that item actually centered around the back portion of that lot that's being sold has a big section of wetlands where the Herring Brook runs through. So we want to make sure that Conservation and Fisheries have access to that. So we pushed off a final vote to the next meeting so that we have time to get some information about whether we can get some sort of access guaranteed for Conservation and Fisheries to be able to access the wetlands in the back portion of that lot. Then we did some reappointments to boards and commissions. We appointed Ron Boydie to Conservation, and we appointed Steve Walsh to the Town Manager Search Committee as the representative from the Advisory Committee. Then we had the Town Manager's Report, and the big item from the Town Manager's Report is for residents of Valley Street and High Street. Those two streets will be repaved over the course of the next year or so. We don't have exact dates. But the announcement was basically to let residents know that once the top coat goes on both of those streets, there's a 5-year moratorium for breaking into the street to do any improvements on things like water lines or gas lines. So residents of those two streets are advised that if they have any improvements that they want to make on water or gas, that they do so before that top coat goes on. But we'll have plenty of notice. We don't even have a date for the start yet, but once we have a date for the start, we'll be able to let residents know exactly what the window is to make improvements for water and gas lines before that top coat goes on both of those streets. Under new business, we discussed the ADA compliance project at the town landing. The next set of improvements on the list for consideration over there are to update the guardhouse and make the bathrooms more ADA compliant, as well as putting some new surface down under the playground. We went into executive session, and then we came back to the public session in order to ratify the superior officer's contract for the police, and that was it. That was the whole meeting. It was a really quick meeting last night, but we actually got quite a lot done, which was a really good feeling at the end of the night. And if anybody has any questions on any of these items or anything else, please let me know. Have a good day.